any message. So just before we start, so I see we still have some people coming in. I will wait just a few more seconds and after we will start. So I guess we can start now. Just to make sure, if you have any problem, with the audio or with the presentation, please feel free to ask Patrick. He is there also for helping me out if anything goes wrong. So of course, again, if you have any question, feel free to ask them. For during the presentation, we can start and stop when we want. So no big deal. So, Mail2Share, I guess you know what this is about, email management solutions. So how it will work for the agenda today, I will go through a quick PowerPoint, okay, mentioning the features of the software, and after we will go into a quick demo. So, what's Mail2Share? As you may know, it's an add-on for Outlook. We are compatible with all the versions of SharePoint, and we do support Outlook 2007, 2010, 2013, and of course we continue to support beyond. We are only PC, okay? We don't support Mac yet, but that's something we are looking into. Compatible with Office 365, of course, the greatest and the better office for everyone. How we work, just drag and drop emails, attachments, anything basically from your inbox to SharePoint. Basically, you will see it in a minute. We take all the information, the critical information. We make sure, we take care of all the metadata and the mapping for your columns in SharePoint, and we make sure you have a run for your money. How does it work? It's really simple. As you can see on my screen, we have what we call the quick upload zone on the bottom left. You take all the information you need and just drag and drop them into this zone. We do work in a sense to centralize everything in SharePoint. So, for instance, if you have different users, with local PST files, with people don't really, where people don't really want to collaborate, this is something which can help. Of course, we are compliant with SharePoint security, so when you already put in place compliancy, we do respect that. So this is basically some screenshots on French screenshot for the solution because we are French and English. Okay, we support both languages and we are compatible with the rule 101. It's a client only. Okay, it's a MSI about 10 megs, so it's really easy to manage and to push on the machines. You can, of course, you can install it directly manually, but we do support GPO and System Center as well. We do even have clients with Citrix then, and yes, we can help you package the software for the different OS you want to use it for. AD support, so we can push information directly to AD users and groups, and as a matter for the security, as I said, we are SharePoint integrated, so it's basically the SharePoint security in place. I mentioned it before, we keep track of all the information and we remove it from the local PST files. So I know it's a big thing for organizations when you have different people, users who keep the information, not in a bad way, but sometimes it can hurt the company. Like for instance, you have someone who won the lottery, you won't see him, the next day you will stay home and party like hell. In the meantime, maybe you have critical information you don't have access to now. So, when you use SharePoint as a central repository, you make sure you have all the information in one place. Um, After that, I won't demonstrate all the strengths of SharePoint because I think it's well known now. Perhaps it was not the case before, and especially in 2003 and 2007, but they did a great job in 2010 and now in 2013. So yes, SharePoint can be the central platform for your collaboration. What's the point of managing your email in SharePoint? Of course, SharePoint is really versatile. So you can take your email and put it as a document in SharePoint, meaning you can search in your SharePoint for this kind of document. You can apply workflows and of course retention policies directly at SharePoint level. The collaboration aspect for the project is unbeatable, and of course, this is a main point. Move only the critical and important for information thanks to your users, because this is gonna be the user who will make a difference in your information system. So how we work? Drag and drop. So yes, it's really that easy. You don't have anything to configure. We do everything for you, in the backend. You can choose if you want to remove everything from Exchange and put it in SharePoint, or depending of your compliancy, you can just have the best of both worlds and keep some information in Exchange and centralize everything in SharePoint. We do support the subfolder support infrastructure, sorry. So basically, you can have the same thing you do have right now in Outlook in Mail2Share. I will show you in a second. The search, a really cool thing, we are integrated with the SharePoint search. So directly from Outlook, you will be able to have some search in SharePoint. Okay, you can search in SharePoint library, but of course you can expand the scope and go into a SharePoint site. In the matter of the results, you can see on my screen, we do preview results. So the same way for documents or emails. Okay, so you will be able to access the information quickly. You don't have to check out or even open an item to see what it is. You have all the information right there. Mount point. This is really interesting, actually. This is, on the bottom left, the quick upload thing. This is the bookmarks to SharePoint. You can have users who gonna add the mount points by themselves. So they will be in Mail2Share. They will add sites on which they collaborate and the project they are working on right now. But what you can do as well, you can push that information for them. So let's say, for example, you have users who are not really comfortable with SharePoint, okay, and they are not really familiar with all the links for your SharePoint. We can imagine easily to have some super users who can manage all the links directly for a group of people. Okay. Again, it's AD, so it works with AD groups and users. Who can use it? That's a tough question, actually. Well, of course, you can have different departments, and most of the time, what we see pilots in some departments, okay, and after that, when you see everything runs smoothly, you can see everyone in the company going with the project, because everyone in the company can have sensible information you want to centralize. So let's see if I said everything. MSI file, I think here you know it because it's an add-on to Outlook. It's client only. I will demonstrate the support request integration in a few moments. And just to make sure for the API, it's kind of new, so I have nothing to show yet because it's all work in progress. But what we did, we opened Mail2Share for outside applications. So basically, you can have an ERP or a CRM and or even a web application, for instance, and you can ask operation to Mail2Share. So let's take the web application. You are in a web application. You have maybe you have access to a FTP with some file on it. With the web app, you will be able just for one click from a button to send it to Mail2Share. Thing is, after Mail2Share will be able to take care to send this information to SharePoint to the correct library, okay, and of course taking care also of the metadata. So all the mapping, where it has to go, can be done by code directly to Mail2Share. It's really powerful right now. We do have several projects. One interesting one is a CRM. You can tag your emails when they come in with the CRM. What you will be able to do is also when you tag this email, it will also send it to the SharePoint library for the client, for instance. So this is a kind of intervention where we can have. We can also have some forms, customized forms, appearing directly in Outlook through different applications. So of course, uh, maybe not SAP because it's a big one, but some smaller ERP or even Sage, you can take those information and push them to Mail2Share into a form. So I will go into the demo right now. So this is my Outlook, and yes, this is really my Outlook. So as you can see, 820 for the deleted items. So yeah, I do receive emails, mostly from Patrick, but that's another story. So what you saw before, the quick upload. As you can see, we're integrated in the ribbon, and here I have my Mail2Share site. If I click on it, and I will take accounting, it will just launch it will retrieve, sorry, my list of content from my SharePoint. And as you can see, if I click on an email, I will be able to scroll down the email. I will be able even to double click on the email and do a reply, a forward, even organize a meeting or put some notes on it. And even better, okay, this is in SharePoint, okay? If I click on a reply, and I think I won't reply to log me in, even if I use that technology. I will send myself an email, and instead of clicking on send, I will click on send and upload. Why? It will keep the whole thread of conversation directly in SharePoint. So let's say if I click on accounting, okay, my email has been sent. So I will close this one, and I will just refresh it quickly. And here you can see my email from just now appearing in SharePoint. Okay, so if I stay a few seconds, you can see the encoded absolute address. It's techtrain.sharepoint.com. It's Office 365. So yes, it works well. Also, if I want now, I can just share this item as an attachment or even as a link. Okay, I can. By the way, I can even take, I don't know, different files and share all these items directly as link or attachment. Okay, you are not like you don't have to have only one per one. You can do a bunch of them. Also, we have the preview for PDF, for Excel, for Word documents, basically every standard documents. We do use preview handler technology. So if you have a preview handler installed on the client machine, we will support it. Another nice feature we do have, it's the SharePoint search. So let's say if I want to look for QuizCom, I can see my email from QuizCom. That's good. Now if I want to search another term, yeah, okay. As you can see, the search is really fast. Okay, even if it's in the cloud and I'm currently not local, you can see it's very fast, and you can make sure to have the results you want in the document library or in the entire site. Okay. Um, Another thing nice to have also is the views. We have three views. We have what we call the Outlook view, but we do have the grid views. Grid view takes all the views you have in SharePoint in your libraries, and there you can just filter everything, do some sorting on the different columns you have in SharePoint. And the last view, of course, is what we call the side view. Basically, it's SharePoint inside Outlook. It's as you can see, it's really that. So I'm directly in my SharePoint. Can just take a bunch of documents and decide to delete them. I can even launch workflows if I have some, etc., etc. I can do everything I can in SharePoint in my browser. I can do it in Outlook, thanks to Mail2Share. I did not mention it, but here you can see my columns with the metadata, everything mapped. I will show you in a minute how it works in the backend. Now, from a user perspective, just to make sure how we work. Let's say I will take this one. We just ask people, users, to take what they think is important information and just drag and drop it. Okay, in SharePoint. That's it. That's how it works. If you check now, you can see my SlideShare newsletter just there. Okay, didn't ask me for anything. Okay, of course, if I have some managed metadata or enterprise keywords, I can prompt the user to enter those, but otherwise it's straight out of the box, nothing to add. Also, this is email, so this is easy, but if you want just to have attachment and not release email, you can do that as well. So just drag and drop, and if I go to my subfolder, here I can see my two documents. I hope everything is okay so far. Again, if there's any question, you can feel free to ask. Patrick can tell me to stop if needed. So this is really from a user perspective. You take emails, you do the search, to find information if needed. Drag and drop what you think is most important information in your SharePoint. Take only the attachment or even documents if needed. And then what you have also what we call the enterprise administration. Enterprise administration, this is the backend, the backbone of the software. What we do, I will create a new one. Here we have different settings. The enterprise settings, this is where you decide to the access for administrating Mail2Share. So you can decide to give access to the help desk for North America, but maybe you want also some specific users to access it and configure the mount points for some users. Okay. Volume license, we have different ways to do that. You have, of course, you have the the perpetual license which you buy. You have another one for the subscription because there's a lot of hype nowadays about it. Office 365, Adobe, everyone does that. Here, what we do, we have what we call the volume license. We take all the machine in a domain and we open it. So if you have maybe 10 or 15 machines, you don't need to have the domain license, but let's say you have thousands of workstations. This way you can ensure any any kind of problems with let's say disaster recovery or updates on the OS or the machines. The volume license will always be valid. I won't go into the configuration thing because this is a bit technical. Here you can change the threshold, and there you can have the different grid for the enterprise keywords. If you use different sites with different enterprise keywords sites. Mount points. This is where I told you before. This is where you can add mount points for a bunch of users. So here it goes into my browser history. It will solve the URL, and there it will propose me with my SharePoint site. Okay, so it's a site collection with another site inside with some libraries, and I can even have a subfolder. So I take my subfolder there, can rename it, and here I will be able to say, okay, I want to deploy this to all my users or only specific ones. So let's say this one I want it to be for the sales. All the sales guys will have this mount point. Field mapping. This is really the magical part. How we work, let's say you take an email. You drag and drop an email to your SharePoint site. Mail2Share will automatically say, okay, for this property subject, when you encounter a column in SharePoint of the type single line of text and matching one of those internal names, then you drop the metadata inside. Why we do that? Simply because you can have different SharePoint sites. Okay, we're in the business since a few years now, and we saw a lot of SharePoint implementations, and sometimes you have different groups of people in charge of SharePoint. Let me give you an example. You have the HR who manages their own SharePoint. It's 2007. There's no governance, but you still have to go there to maybe to put some vacancy or some maternity leaves, anything. Maybe you have also an IT portal. On this one, it's gonna be more strict, and you will have different column names. Okay. When you have a central configuration, you can do all the scenarios in one place. So let's say for me, I'm on sales also, but on IT, so I need to access everything. Okay, this way I can ensure with one configuration file to have access to have the configuration done for all the sites in one place. This is only one configuration file you have to save in SharePoint, and after Mail2Share will do the rest. So every time a user will open his Outlook, it will be updated with the new links. Even with the API now, we have some ways to take some libraries and push them into the quick upload. So yeah, see, there's lots of different things you can do with that. Of course, for the compliance, we also have some other features, such as this one. Let me grab an email I will send to Patrick. I will attach a file on it. Let's see this one. I will send it, and here I can decide to upload my file instead of sending an attachment in my email, and have add some size in my Exchange. I can just put the attachment into SharePoint and send a link instead. I just have to select where I want to save the file. So this one. And here maybe it's a bit quick, but here you can see the attachment. Okay, it has been replaced by that. Now if I go in my subfolder, I can see my attachment is just there. Okay. Last thing I wanted to talk about is the support request. What we do, we have a ticketing request integrated in Mail2Share. So what we do, basically you can have some issues with SharePoint or Outlook, whatever. You just send us an email with the log of the last 7 days, and we are able to see all the transactions and help you out in less than 4 hours. So even if it's a SharePoint problem or Outlook or even Mail2Share, we can have like a good overview really quick of what went wrong. Patrick, which one? The support request? It's not a new feature, but it's something we work on really hard because we have a huge client base now. So each time we tweak the code to have more steps. Okay, so we can be more efficient in resolving issues. So this is really something we're focusing on right now. We do have more and more people in the support center, so we have a whole team ready, to help you out if anything happens. Ah, yeah, kind of. Before that, it's a new feature. I think it was integrated in 6.2, but we did work on it on 6.4. Um, I will get the screen back. I'm doing it. Sorry. So how it works, really? When you send an email with an attachment, you can say, okay, I don't really want to send this stuff to SharePoint, so I just click OK, and it will send my email with the chat log from SharePoint. Or I can decide to upload it and remove the attachment, so this way you have a link instead. And finally, you can decide also, yes, there's 3 steps. It's really annoying for some people, but it's because we support all kind of scenarios. This one, you want to upload it, but as it goes outside, you want to keep the attachment as well. So there, you will be able to undo that as well. And as you can see, you select only one um, library. We don't allow people to go to duplicate the information. This is something I didn't tell you. We support the versioning for the files, of course, but we are able to detect duplicate items. So let's say you have, for instance, you have an email already there in SharePoint. We are able to catch up with that, and we can forbid, to have duplicates for emails because of the message ID. It can be external, yes. Can be external. After, all you need is the question for everyone. Uh, is the user has to be internal, or can it be external? Can be external, but you still have to configure some access in SharePoint. So it doesn't matter where the email comes from. Okay, can be from Gmail or Outlook.com or Exchange, but you need to have, of course, permissions in SharePoint. Hope I answer the question. That's about it for today. Of course, if you have any question, we do have our website here for any information, and of course we have some sales representative who can help you out with any question you have, and also we do have lots of partners everywhere in the world. So if you think you have like big projects, with different, even different countries, we can work very well with these scenarios. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you again for your time.